It's a cold winter Friday on December 13th. BJP had initiated a discussion in Lok Sabha on 75 years of the constitution. Priyanka Gandhi gave her debut speech. Rahul Gandhi spoke after her, and even Modi ji decided to grace the parliament to speak for 2 hours. While all of this was happening, a wild list of business appeared. It says that on Monday, 16th of December, the Constitution 129th Amendment Bill 2024 is coming up. When I saw that, the nerd within me went, what is this now? Let us see. Okay, here's the bill. Constitution 129th Amendment Bill. Simultaneous elections to the House of the People and all legislative assemblies. It's here. It's here. Oh shit, it's here. Listen, it's here. It's here. Guys, it's here. It's here! Oh my god, it's here! I can't believe it's here. It's finally happening. If you aren't having a reaction like me, then you really need to watch this video till the end, because I'm pretty sure you are going to have a reaction like this. This video is about the biggest reform that the Modi government is about to bring since its existence. This is big. Bigger than demonetization, bigger than Article 370, bigger than GST even. This is a video about how Narendra Modi wants to go full dictator mode and change the very essence of our democracy. The process has now officially started. Say hello to one nation, one election, one party, one leader, full dictatorship law. On that, I have a bunch of thoughts. What is one nation, one election, one party, one leader bill, you ask? Okay, wait. I really need to go full nerd mode on this one. Deeper. More detailed. Like, really dive in and swim in it. Like, gote marne usme. If you're new to this channel, let me tell you that you are seeing a video by someone who doesn't assume anything about you. So, I go to the very, very basics of it. I assume that you don't know anything. And then I give you my bunch of thoughts. Which means this is going to be a long video. So yeah, thoda chill karo. Trauma end mein aane wala hai. Like, end mein. Alright, let's redo this. Yes, let's talk about elections a little bit. That thing that you do 3 times in 5 years. Elections are a way for you to vote for your representative, who will then go to the parliament or state assembly or your local body. Then their job is to represent you, the citizen, and raise your problems in these forums. All of it so that the government can listen to them, come up with solutions, which are solutions for you, theoretically. Elections ensure that your voice is taken to the government, and then you can therefore symbolically control the government as a result. That, my dear friends, is the very essence of democracy. But India is special. Yeah, we are special. Actually, it has even more insane form of democracy that we have ever seen, that the world has ever seen. Okay, in case you didn't notice, India is just diverse AF. I mean, just open a map and see. So we have deserts, we have tall ass mountains, we have tropical rainforests, we have a giant coastline, we have hills, we have all sorts of geographies in this country. There are mighty rivers which created something like Uttar Pradesh, which is the biggest and most populated state in the biggest and most populated country in the world. Each of these geographies led to different cultures, food habits, clothing, languages. Marathi, Tamil, Hindi, Bangla, Assamese, so many languages. And that led to the creation of different linguistic states all over the place. You see what I mean? Diverse AF. So, in 1947, when the British up and left, we decided to all come together and form a country. A union of states, because each of these regions and states have a unique culture and character. I mean, the simple fact is that the people across the country eat, drink, and live starkly different lives. So the people who made our constitution had a big problem to deal with. How is it that you would bring all of these people together on the same page? I mean, you try doing that in your office. That doesn't work very well, does it? Now imagine 1,000,000 people, all of them, as a nation, and all the while letting all this diversity exist and thrive. So, suffice to say, bringing all of this together is not a joke. Just imagine yourself in that situation, like in that Constituent Assembly in 1948. Okay, let's say I, a Marathi boy from Nagpur, Maharashtra, is sitting in that Constituent Assembly and listening to the debates. Together we are coming up with the concept of a nation, but there is this one little thing that I'm kind of worried about. When this nation is formed, when this great nation is a thing, will me and my fellow Marathi citizens be allowed to maintain our traditions and our culture and our language and everything that comes with it? Similarly, my Tamil best friend who was a part of the freedom struggle be able to maintain their culture as well? Oh, and will my Bengali partner be able to do that as well? I mean, it's kind of nuts when you think about it. So in 1947, especially after a horrendous partition on religious lines, this anxiety existed all over the country, within everyone. The entire world was looking at this newly liberated colony and thinking,
yeah, this is not gonna work, guys. So much diversity in a single nation? No. I'll tell you, they'll break up into like smaller countries and become like little countries. Oh, by the way, would you like some tea and muffin? Oh, Sir Fitzgerald, the sixth. Have some tea and muffin.
So our constitution makers were like,
how do we do this? How do we make a nation? Also, screw you, Fitzgerald James the third. Yeah, stuff your tea and muffin in your mouth. We are making a nation now. You stuff it in your face hole. Shut the f up.
Sorry. Sorry. Anyway, our constitution makers knew that this nation state would be special. So it needs a special system to run properly. Like, ऐसा वैसा democracy नहीं चाहिए, special democracy. Because they needed to ensure that nobody gets pissed off and go off to form their own little country somewhere. So the answer they came up with was nothing short of genius. It's called Say hello to the Constitution. After the preamble, the first line in our constitution is this: name and territory of the union. India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of states. This is not random. There was a reason why this was the first line. Because remember the anxiety I told you about earlier about being Marathi and being nervous about whether my identity would be respected or not? Yeah, so in November 1949, this anxiety was brought up in the Constituent Assembly when the constitution was being made. Members of the assembly were worried that there might be too much centralization in India, that their identities would be crushed and states would be reduced to nothing. So Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the original Chad nerd, he got up and said this: a serious complaint is made on the ground that there is too much of centralization and that the states have been reduced to municipalities. It is clear that this view is not only an exaggeration, but it is also founded on a misunderstanding of what exactly the constitution contrives to do. As to the relation between the center and states, it is necessary to bear in mind the fundamental principle on which it rests. The basic principle of federalism is that the legislative and executive authority is partitioned between the center and the state, not by any law to be made by the center, but by the constitution itself. This is what the constitution does. The states under our constitution are in no way dependent upon the center for their legislative or executive authority. The center and states are co-equal in this matter. It is difficult to see how such a constitution can be called centralism. The chief mark of federalism, as I said, lies in the partition of the legislative and executive authority between the center and the union by the constitution. This is the principle embodied in our constitution. There can be no mistake about it. It is therefore wrong to say that the states have been placed under the center. Center cannot by its own will alter the boundary of that partition, nor can the judiciary. You see, federalism is a system of government where power is divided between a central government and a regional state government. So, in simpler words, what Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar was saying to everyone was, guys, calm down, look, the central government and the state government will be totally separate. You see, we have total federalism. States will not be dependent upon the center and they will be separate. And the center and all the states will be equal also. And our constitution will say in bold italics and underlined letters that we have federalism and this is the case. Okay? Cool? Everybody cool? Hey, you Marathi boy, you seem nervous. Are you okay? Anxiety gone?
Me? Me? Oh my God, Dr. Ambedkar is actually speaking to me. Holy mother God. Oh my.
Sorry, the mind kind of wanders when I do these bits sometimes. Anyway, federalism was supposed to put our collective anxieties at ease. It is supposed to give all of us a feeling of being a part of this union of states while also having an identity of our own. You know, unity in diversity. It is a crazy concept when you think about it. But our constitution makers managed to strike a balance. And for 75 years of our country's existence, this concept of federalism seeped into our very soul as Indians. It is because of this idea of federalism that me, a Marathi boy, has a Tamil best friend and a Bengali wife and a Sikh gentleman who sells me a washing machine and I chill with him from time to time. He's a very nice gentleman. Oh, I eat at my favorite restaurant which is run by a little old lady from Nagaland. I make reaction videos with a wonderful woman from Assam. I have deep chats with a wise dude from Odisha. Oh, and I watch videos by a legendary journalist from Bihar to make sense of what is going on. That, my nerd friends, is federalism. You experience it every day. We all do. The state that you live in is run by people who share a cultural identity with you, if you belong to that state. There are regional parties that represent you. They look at the world from your lens. But then they also make sure that they're friends with other states and cultural identities as well. Federalism. And our central government is supposed to make sure that all of this happens because we are a union of states. That is the foundation that our constitution is built on. Well, at least that was the case until this week. Because I'm sorry to break it to you, dear nerd friends, an assault has started on all of us and this concept of federalism. 75 years after our constitution was made, one non-biological entity called Adarniya Shri Sir Narendra Modi Ji, Supreme Leader, the first of his name, has entered the picture. And he is like, yeah, this is not how things will work from now on. Yellow, take, new law. Say hello to one nation, one election law. Yes, take. So here's what's going to happen. This is your union of states. This is a new constitution amendment. And I'm just going to... Okay? Now let's come to the Constitution 129th Amendment Bill, also known as the One Nation, One Election, One Party, One Leader Bill. ONOEOPOL. Catchy, isn't it? Onoeopol. Onoeopol. I I can make acronyms as well. Why should Modi ji have all the fun? Yeah, well, that's what they are calling it now. The Onoopol law is proposing that all elections for both center and states will be held together simultaneously at once. You must be like,
So what's the problem here exactly? I mean, it's nice, now we'll just have to go and vote once in 5 years. It's simple. It's nice. ये हर चीज को क्रिटिसाइज करना जरूरी है क्या? तेरा क्या प्रॉब्लम है बे?
problem hai. You sweet summer child, it's not that simple. And if you think like this, then you are simple. Yes, you are simple. But don't worry, you are in the right place, on the right channel, because your brain is about to evolve and go
Puja. Puja.
Right now, our constitution says that the central government in Delhi is separate from all the other states. Each state has a government of its own, with its own legislature and executive. In other words, each state will have the power to make their own laws and implement them in the way that they want to. And since they are independent, each state has separate elections. So the parties that come to power in the states can be starkly different from the ones that are in the center in Delhi. And this will ensure federalism throughout the country. So, when you go to vote, you elect your members of parliament which will sit in parliament. Some of them will become ministers who will then go on to form the central government in Delhi. And one of them becomes a prime minister. But you will also vote and elect your members of legislative assemblies, which will go to state assemblies. And then you vote for the third time when you elect your representative who will go to your local bodies, municipalities or panchayats. 3 levels. We vote on 3 levels. We pick 3 levels of representatives. Each of these bodies separately have 5-year terms. That is the reason why when we had the 2024 parliamentary elections this year in June, we had a separate election in Haryana, Maharashtra and Jharkhand later, 6 months later in December. We will also have a Delhi election next year. Then other states will follow. So Parliament has a term of 5 years. So the next election that will be held for Parliament will be in April 2029. But for Maharashtra, the term of the state government will end in December 2029. So the election will happen sometime during November-December 2029. The Ono poll bill wants to sync all of this together and hold one giant election every 5 years. No separate terms, no union of states, no federalism, just a centralized thing. Okay, I can read your thoughts right here. You must be thinking,
Okay, now that's a stretch, isn't it? I mean, this one bill is going to murder the union? Everything? Just because elections are synced? Yeah, no. I don't think so.
and the answer to that is yes. That is precisely what is going to happen. Before I tell you why, let me quickly take you through the bill. First up, the bill says that simultaneous elections will be held for the parliament and all state assemblies every 5 years. The president will declare a date when all these elections would be held, and that would start the 5-year cycle for all elections going forward. If the election commission is of the opinion that a particular state election cannot be held simultaneously with the central election, then they can request the president to defer it also. By the way, in case you didn't catch it, this is bad. Basically, it defeats the entire purpose of simultaneous elections because the election commission can be just like,
हाँ उत्तर प्रदेश का इलेक्शंस कैन हैपन आफ्टर 3 months. अभी ये कर लो बिकॉज उत्तर प्रदेश में मोदी जी को बाद में कैंपेन करना है.
okay, sorry. इस पे बाद में आएंगे. Then it says that in case the legislative assembly of a state is dissolved and the government falls, then fresh elections will be held. But the new government that comes in will not have a full 5-year term. It will exist till the next simultaneous election appointed date. It will be called a mid-term election. And then finally, they want to make a big edit to the constitution, where the power to hold simultaneous elections and make laws around it will be given to the parliament. Okay, I know lot of things to process here, but I'm going to try and make it simple. I will try to explain the technicalities about all of this in a separate video, not this one. I don't want to overload you right now. But for now, I just need you to understand the basic idea of what is going on here. Why is this being done? Because the big idea here is to brutally murder federalism. Like, choke it as because our supreme leader is obsessed with this one concept which you must have heard of. You know, it's called double engine sarkar. Yes, it's connected to this. It's all connected. Yeah, on that I have a bunch of thoughts. Double engine sarkar. BJP has been touting this concept for a decade now. Their idea is that the same political party should rule both center and state, namely BJP. But the plan hasn't really worked out very well. It is mostly because of these pesky little things called regional parties, which are there all across the country. You see, BJP is a national party which fights elections everywhere, but often in different states it faces off against regional rivals like TMC in Bengal or BJD in Odisha, Shiv Sena in Maharashtra. I mean, earlier it was separate and no. Anyway, DMK in Tamil Nadu, RJD in Bihar, so on and so forth. Whenever BJP goes against a regional party head to head during state elections, it has been found that it doesn't do very well sometimes. BJP and Congress fight, yeah, they are comfortable with that one because
नेहरू को पकड़ो ऐसे मारो उसको, beat a dead horse, dead man को लाते मारो, and people will be like, these are better.
But regional parties are a different beast. They don't like it. Supreme leader wants to rule all of it and regional parties are coming in the way. So BJP has been waging a sort of a war against these parties for the last decade. Either they use the ED, IT, CBI type agencies to harass regional party MLAs, force them to break away and join the BJP, फिर then सात खून माफ, or they buy MLAs in bulk to break a party apart, or they ally with a party, then stab it in the back and later take over the state completely. Their objective is to conquer the entire territory like kings of old and create double engine sarkar BJP governments everywhere across the country. And they hate the opposition, like hate them. No matter where the opposition comes from, they just can't handle it, so they want it gone. There is no feeling of camaraderie that they exhibit with themselves and the opposition. It's not like,
Sometimes we can be wrong also. Like 70% of our ideas are okay, but 30% they can also have good ideas.
no, they hate them. All the things they say, it is to be hated and they are to be hated. That is the current situation. So they don't want them. So far in the last decade that the BJP has been in power, they have managed to do this double engine sarkar business in a lot of states. But not all states, especially in the east and the south. So Supreme Leader has gotten a little frustrated and he is like,
Enough! These regional mosquitoes must be eradicated. So far, we've been using this bat to do it one at a time, like Sitish, Sitish, Sitish. But they keep coming back. Where do they come from? I hate them. We need to get rid of them in one go now. So, we need to fill this room with hydrogen and set it on fire. And then everyone will just go away. ए नितिन को बुला रहे हाइड्रोजन का टैंक लेके आ हाँ उसके गाड़ी में भर के रखा है तुम साला गुलाम लोग हाइड्रोजन में जल के ही रहेगा
and that is what ONOA poll is all about. It is a one-shot solution to get rid of all regional parties. The reality is BJP is currently the richest party in the country. They have the most sophisticated election machinery, they have central agencies, and they have been using them in different states to form their double engine sarkar. But the problem is that they have to constantly, obsessively do it throughout the year. In different states, whenever elections come up. I mean, poor Modi ji has to travel all the time to attend all these rallies, wear different hats, all with the intention of establishing a top-down government. They don't like it, and so they want to get it over with in one shot. So, in conclusion, okay, pay attention to this. The ONOA poll bill has 6 main objectives, and I'm not going to mince any words here. So, listen closely. 1. BJP should be able to use all its resources in one go in all states and the center simultaneously. Since BJP is the richest party, it will make sure that it will outmatch all these piddi mosquito type regional parties across the country. 2. BJP should be able to use the rest of the 4 years gathering resources and getting ready for the big day. Modi ji should be able to travel more outside the country, not within the country. बाहर ज़्यादा मजा आता है, पैसा बचेगा. You see. 3. There should be only one narrative throughout the country. State level issues will get overshadowed by how amazing BJP and Modi ji have been doing nationally. State GDP, poverty levels, regional problems will be forgotten because everybody will be forced to talk about national GDP and soldiers on the border and all sorts of national things. Image of India internationally, because these are the areas where Modi ji looks good. So every voter will be nudged to vote for Modi ji in both center and state because the narrative is now cohesive. 4. After the BJP emerges victorious in center and state, forming double engine sarkars all over the place, then they can work towards destroying regional parties for the rest of the 4 years. 5. The election commission will be controlled by the BJP and will be able to set the schedule for this one-shot simultaneous elections, and they will give full advantage to the BJP according to their campaign plans. Told you they can defer particular states whenever they want, so what's stopping them? It's literally written in the law. And 6. There shall be only one party with one leader, nobody else. Hashtag full dictatorship. Do you get it now? Do you? And now are you having that reaction? Listen, it's here. It's here. Guys, it's here. It's here. Oh my god, it's here. I can't believe it's here. Right now, when all these state elections happen once in a while, the wonderful idea of federalism comes into play. Local state level issues come into focus during these elections. If you are a national party like BJP or a regional party like TMC, when you fight assembly elections in Bengal, you have to deal with the same local issues. But if the national and state elections happen simultaneously, then the game changes completely. And in this new game of simultaneous elections, which is about to be unleashed on all of us, the national parties will have more money, more power, more agencies, more narrative control, and more everything than smaller regional parties. Right now, they are sinking the parliament and assembly elections, then they will go local bodies also. So 3 levels pay elections happening simultaneously. Federalism will be a thing of the past and we will all be screwed. So currently the bill that I showed you has been introduced in the Lok Sabha and has been sent to a joint parliamentary committee for further consultation. It has not been passed. Thank God for that. The BJP needs 2/3 majority to pass this bill in both houses of parliament, which they don't have right now. So they have to talk to opposition parties, which they currently hate. So that would be fun to see. But knowing what Supreme Leader is capable of, I'm honestly going to be watching this very, very closely. You never know what kind of shenanigans they're up to. So yeah, you should watch them too. Or you can just subscribe to this channel because I'll do that for you and keep telling you about it. So do it. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys, friendos, everyone. I'm going on a bit of a break for a few days and then I will be back with live streams and videos as well. This is the first video on One Nation, One Election that I'm doing, just to set the context. I will be taking up the advantages and criticisms and all the things that come with it in later videos. So if you think there is a particular question you have about ONO poll, that's what we are calling it, please leave it in the comments below. I would be happy to answer them on the fly and also maybe make a video on it. So yeah, ये देखना पड़ेगा, बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग होने वाला है. So yeah, thank you. Please do like, share, subscribe, do the things. Please ये share कर देना. This is one of the most important videos I have made on this channel, I feel like, because it is important. It is important. So please share. Okay, bye.